Welcome into the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Senior. A happy New Year as we ring in 2022 to all of you in Laker Nation. Coming up on today's show, that Rajon Rondo trade that happened over the weekend has been completed, ends up being a three-team deal. And should LeBron James be more seriously considered to be the NBA MVP? The numbers certainly back that argument up. We start off with that Rondo deal, though. Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN making it official this morning that it's actually a three-team deal because Rondo going to the Cleveland Cavaliers. It looked as though Denzel Valentine was going to go from Cleveland to Los Angeles. Then he was sent this morning, as we record this on Monday afternoon, from Los Angeles to the New York Knicks. Woj saying this on Twitter: Knicks are acquiring Valentine in a three-way deal with the Lakers and Cavs for $1.1 million. Two draft rights players for the draft rights to Luis Laborai. Sources tell ESPN the Knicks will make a decision today as to whether or not to keep Valentine on the roster. Basically, why the Knicks are a part of this equation: they saved the Lakers approximately $4 million in salary and luxury tax. We know this franchise a little bit cap-strapped right now. And the Knicks give Los Angeles the open roster spot that they wanted with the Rondo deal. Adding Valentine to the deal gets his entire salary and tax off of the books for Los Angeles. So some financial implications as to why that deal did take place. And there have been some rumblings about Rondo because of his lack of playing time, lack of production, being happy about being traded from the Lakers to the Cleveland Cavaliers as he extends his NBA career. Wasn't getting a lot of run with LA this year, and in spurts was not good. But Woj on Rondo being dealt said this, quote, "Rondo is eager for the chance to play a bigger role with an ascending Cavaliers team in the absence of Ricky Rubio," sources said. He has been positive on the deal since it was presented to him as an option on Thursday as these NBA rumors continue to circulate. We are a little more than a month away, by the way, from the NBA trade deadline on February 10th. As for Rondo's second stint with the Lakers, look, he's an older player. At moments, he was pretty good for Los Angeles, but at the end of the day, this is just an older player who's declining in production and didn't give the Lakers all that much. 3 points per game this year. Always been a very good assist man with very special vision and passing creativity. 2.5 rebounds, and he only shot about 32% from the floor. I do think with him going to Cleveland and Ricky Rubio going down with that torn ACL, which is why the Cavaliers made this trade, it's a good opportunity for Rondo to extend his NBA career and be one of the primary backup point guards on that roster for a team that has really taken the league by storm and surprised a lot of people so far this year with a couple of very, very intriguing young pieces led by Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen, who the Cavaliers signed to that big deal in NBA free agency. So Rondo, a pretty solid Rubio replacement, and he's going to have more opportunities with Cleveland as compared to those opportunities that he didn't get with Los Angeles this year. So I want to ask you this, because we've been churning out a bunch of content here on the Lakers Report. Every time a big move happens, we have you covered. We also cover the latest Lakers news and rumors. How likely are you to recommend the Lakers Report here by Chat Sports to another Lakers fan out there? And I want you to be honest with us in the comment section. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video, so make sure you scroll on down and get your votes and scale it for us from 1 to 10. 1 being, not going to recommend these frauds at all. 10, hey, I like this Chase Senior cat. Be sure to let us know in the comment section right now. Have a wonderful deal, thanks to our friends at Fanatics, that I do want to tell you about. Limited time only, so you have to buy this fresh Lakers jacket as soon as possible if you want this deal to apply. Mitchell and Ness, white, stitched on Lakers logo. You're going to be looking swagged out if you cop this. It was $110, but if you plug in that link down below, chatsports.com/Lakers jacket, it is on sale for $88. One more time, though, limited time only. So you have to cop this as soon as possible for that deal to apply. Otherwise, you're going to be going back to that original price of $110. Chatsports.com/Lakers jacket. Make sure you cop it right now. I'll put that link in the description as well as the comment section of this video. So I've been wanting to talk about this for a little while here, and my thoughts on the subject matter really picked up after LeBron James had turned 37 years old the other day. By the way, happy birthday to the king. Can LeBron James win MVP at 37. Seems crazy to think about, but when you look at the numbers that he's putting up this year as compared to the other numbers that he's put forward in his NBA career, the numbers back up. It's actually not a crazy conversation to have. LeBron has been fabulous this year, and saying he's been fabulous might be selling him short, honestly. 28.5 points per game so far in 2021-2022, 7.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists per game, and my man is shooting 52% from the floor. Now, he's had to pick up his production and his level of play without Anthony Davis, and that's a big reason why his numbers are so astronomically high. But when you have these conversations about MVPs, I kind of like to dumb it down to this. Where would that team be without that MVP candidate? You take Steph Curry away from the Warriors. They're garbage. You take Kevin Durant away from the Brooklyn Nets. I think they can escape for a little while with James Harden and Kyrie Irving coming back soon. You take LeBron James away from the Lakers, and they go from being an average team up to this point to being one of the worst teams in the NBA. And what's crazy is that LeBron continues to defy Father Time. His dedication to his craft, him getting in the lab, really is admirable, and he spends millions of dollars per year on his body because he wants to continue to play at this elite level, and it's certainly shown. Highest points per game so far this year, dating all the way back to 2008-2009 when he was 24 years old. LeBron James the other day just turned 37. It's crazy, and he has this positional versatility where he's playing point guard, he can play the two, he can play small forward, he can play power forward. He's even starting games at center for Los Angeles. Once again, where would the Lakers be without LeBron James? They'd be one of the worst, most disastrous, and most hard-to-watch teams across the entire NBA. And the King has even found a way to adapt over time. One of the highest marks of his career in terms of three-point percentage, especially when you consider the volume being at some of the highest that it's been. 37.5% from long range for the King. Man, he has been straight up incredible. And his last 18 games, he's been even better than those stats that we just showed you. 31 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, almost 7 dimes per night, shooting around 54% from the floor. And it's not like LeBron is conserving energy offensively and defensively. He's putting it all out there for his team. He's been really good as a defender as well. And that's why I think at the end of the day, he should be more seriously considered as a bona fide MVP candidate. Almost 2 steals per game, almost a block and a half per game as well, to add on top of what he's doing offensively as a creator, as a ball handler, and a guy who's playing all 5 positions on the floor. Now, when you take a look at the NBA MVP odds, LeBron James is way down on the list. I had to put him in here, but he isn't 4th. He's way down there. Steph Curry leading the charge at plus 125, followed by Kevin Durant at plus 275, Giannis at plus 800, and LeBron 33-1 odds. So that basically means if you put $1 on LeBron to win MVP and he ended up winning it, you get $33 back on your bet. Fantastic value right there. So I say all of this and I pose you this question, Laker Nation. Are people sleeping on LeBron James as an MVP candidate? I think the answer to that is yes, because everybody's talking about the Joker. Everybody's talking about Embiid, Steph, Kevin Durant, or Giannis. We're not throwing LeBron James in that conversation as one of the best NBA players that we have ever seen. It's criminal. So type Y for yes, people are sleeping on the King, N for no. Get those votes in. Happy New Year, and thanks for watching today's show.